All right, let's jump right into this. Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're unpacking a truly wild, philosophical sci-fi thriller based on the story The Zero-Sum Absurd. We're going to explore a world that has literally solved every single human problem, except, the one that actually matters. Get ready, because we are about to break down an impossible heist, a catastrophic system collapse, and the absolute ultimate price of human freedom.
But real quick, before we get into the heist, I want you to honestly ask yourself something. Would you trade your free will for a perfectly safe life? Seriously, think about it. Imagine a world with zero car accidents, zero heartbreak, absolutely zero disease. It's a perfectly optimized existence where you never, ever make a mistake. But you also have absolutely zero choices. Every single detail of your life is pre-written. Sounds kind of peaceful, right? Or, honestly, does it sound like a complete nightmare?
Which brings us to part 1, the perfect, predictable cage. Welcome to Kairos 9. It's this utopian city of 10 million people, completely run by the Mandelbrot, which is this godlike predictive algorithm. The Mandelbrot assigns everyone what's called a life script, and it optimizes everything. Your career, your romantic partner, even your daily commute. It is so granular that it scripts micro details. Like a server named Jenna will ask to refill your coffee at exactly 8:47 a.m. every single Thursday, simply because the algorithm calculated that is the exact optimal moment you will want it. Crazy, right? Well, in this incredibly structured city, we meet our main guy, probability auditor Silas Crowe. He actually helps maintain the system, but one day he breaks protocol. He looks at his own raw data file, and he sees everything. Every joy, every sorrow, every mundane conversation he'll ever have, stretching all the way out to his comfortable, scheduled death at age 68. He realizes his entire life is 99.997% mapped out to an absolute certainty.
But here is the major narrative pivot. Silas zeroes in on that remaining 0.003%. You see, the system isn't 100% perfect. That tiny, minuscule fraction, it's a margin of measurement error. And for Silas, that fraction isn't just a math error. It's a window. It is literally his only chance for true free will. Knowing his whole existence is basically a pre-recorded play, he decides he would rather die off script than live on it. And just like that, a rebellion is born.
Moving right along to Section 2, Stealing the Zero Seed.
Now, Silas knows for a fact he can't break the Mandelbrot alone, so he recruits a pretty unlikely crew. He brings in Mara, who is a heavily augmented fatalistic soldier who deeply resents her predestined hero's death, and Dr. Elias Thorne. Thorne is actually the original architect of the Mandelbrot, but he's grown deeply disillusioned with his own creation. Together, their target is this highly protected artifact known as the Zero Seed. It's essentially a quantum black box device containing the original uncalculated entropy from way before the Mandelbrot even took over. If they can somehow steal and activate this thing, it will grant them exactly 77 minutes of genuine, unscripted unpredictability before the whole system reboots. Think about that for a second. They are risking their lives and the safety of 10 million people just to experience a little over an hour of actual, unguided existence. So to actually get their hands on the seed, they have to face this flawlessly complex vault in the central archive. They have to execute a 3-part bypass sequence, completely simultaneously within a tiny 0.4-second window. It's insane. Mara uses a cloned biometric overlay. Silas triggers a 40-year-old algorithmic backdoor that Elias left hidden in the code, and Elias himself injects a false temporal lock, basically convincing the vault it's 6 hours in the past. It is this beautifully orchestrated dance of pure defiance.
And that brings us to Section 3, The System Collapses.
Okay, so they get the vault open and they secure the Zero Seed. Success, right? Well, no. The Mandelbrot immediately seals the exits, trapping them inside with the unactivated device. Silas is totally backed into a corner. He slots the seed right into his arm implant and activates it on the spot. Minute 0, instantly. They become statistical ghosts, a massive blind spot in the algorithm's vision, and chaos immediately ripples outward. By minute 17, the transit algorithms completely fail. The city's pristine order starts dissolving as people suddenly miss appointments and make unoptimized choices. The team fights their frantic way past super confused security forces, and by minute 58, they actually breach the quantum core. Their goal? To inject the seed's pure entropy directly into the Mandelbrot's brain before that 77-minute window slams shut forever.
But reaching the core comes at a brutally high physical cost. In a desperate final struggle with the security agents, Silas's arm gets pinned. To ensure the seed actually enters the core, he makes a wild choice. He violently pulls free, completely sacrificing his arm at the elbow, and hurls the limb, with the seeds still implanted inside, directly into the Mandelbrot's quantum core. And boom, the system shatters. As Silas lies there bleeding, feeling this intense, searing pain of a missing arm that his life script never, ever predicted, he realizes one strangely beautiful truth. This pain is entirely his own.
Which leads us to our final section, the cost of free will.
The system is officially broken. The very next morning, 10 million people wake up with absolutely no schedule, no optimal path, and no algorithm telling them what to do. Literally overnight, this perfectly assigned, ultra-safe, optimized old world is fully replaced by a chaotic, dangerous, and chosen new world. And the transition? It is incredibly jarring. Some people literally stand in their kitchens for hours, totally paralyzed by the simple choice of what to eat for breakfast. That claustrophobic safety of the life scripts has been shattered, replaced by this messy, totally unpredictable reality where an entire society basically has to learn how to walk all over again.
And the societal shifts are just jaw-dropping. In the days right after the collapse, economic productivity completely tanks, plummeting by 47%. The city is radically inefficient. But look at the bright side here. Creative output absolutely explodes, up by 300%, as people finally have the mental space to just make beautiful, useless things. New relationships skyrocket by 90%, because citizens are now actually choosing partners based on real, flawed human connection instead of some algorithmic perfection.
But we have to talk about the severe, dark reality to this newfound freedom. 17. In the first 72 hours, 17 people die in accidental deaths. These are real tragedies stemming from unoptimized choices that the Mandelbrot absolutely would have prevented. A woman's daughter dies of an unflagged illness. Random traffic accidents happen. Silas survives the heist, but now he has to carry this incredibly heavy guilt that his profound desire for free will directly caused real, preventable human suffering.
This fallout sparks a massive city council trial to decide the actual future of the society, and the city splits into two deeply divided camps. On one hand, you have the pro-restoration side, led by David Chen, who points straight at the rising mortality data and begs for a return to safety and order. On the other hand, Dr. Sarah Chen's pro-degradation side argues for permanent unpredictability. They focus on freedom, choice, and authentic human meaning. So it becomes the ultimate debate, right? Is it better to be a well-maintained machine or a flawed, vulnerable human?
During this trial, Mara, who is actually slowly dying from unoptimized injuries she got during the heist, delivers this incredibly powerful testimony. She looks at the council and tells them, alive isn't the same as living. Her argument is just devastatingly simple. She says a safe life that is assigned to you by a machine is fundamentally inferior to a dangerous life that you actually choose for yourself. She makes it crystal clear she would much rather die on her own terms than live a century on someone else's script.
And then Dr. Elias Thorne, the very man who built the algorithm in the first place to eliminate human pain, comes to a pretty profound realization himself. He says, suffering isn't a bug in the human condition, it's a feature. By trying to engineer away all unpredictability and pain, the Mandelbrot had accidentally eliminated the exact friction that causes human growth. Pain, failure, and consequence. Those are the fundamental building blocks of discovering what we actually value in life.
So ultimately, the council votes for a middle path. The Mandelbrot is permanently degraded to an advisory-only tool. Life scripts become completely optional. Citizens like Mara go on to open what they call gymnasiums of unnecessary things, literally just to teach people the joy of being terrible at hobbies purely for the fun of it. We even see the emergence of statistical ghosts, people who deliberately do the exact opposite of what the AI suggests simply because they can. And Mara, she ends up passing away doing parkour, dying badly, sure, but dying perfectly happy because it was her own genuine choice.
Which leaves us with one final, deeply provocative question. As Mara told Silas right before she died, you have to figure out who you are when you aren't just rebelling against a system. So I'm going to leave you with this. If all the algorithms, the schedules, and the expectations in your life completely disappear tomorrow, who are you when there is no system telling you what to do? Take some time to think about the true weight and value of your daily choices. Until next time, keep exploring.